Hi, this is Bobby Collins. Welcome to Bobby's Viral Friends. Today, I got a couple of special friends and great guys and excellent comics. My first guy up, he's a great comic. He's a friend. He's a Detroit native. You might have seen him on Home Improvement, The Drew Carey Show. He's toured with Luther Vandross, The Temptations, Whitney Houston, and his person he is the best opening act for is a gentleman named Tim Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Lowell Sanders.
Hey, everybody, what's happening? I thought you was introducing Tim.
No. Now you come first. Now, Tim. Ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't need an introduction. Home Improvement, movies, The Santa Claus, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Wild Hogs, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best comics out there. Well, say hello to Mr. Tim Allen. Tim.
Hey, Lowell. Hey, Bobby. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're great, man. Good to see you.
Oh, my God.
Good to see you, Lowell.
Exit 69, Big Beaver in Detroit.
Wait a minute. That was Kip Adada.
Was it?
Yeah, that was his favorite. He got everybody PO'd at the comedy club. Some lady said, "Give me two roads, any two roads." She goes, "I-69 and Big Beaver." So you want everyone to know that you're lesbian. He didn't say it quite like that.
Right.
And then the whole crowd turned on him, and I've never seen a more magical switch. They hated him for making fun of her, and then all of a sudden he turned the whole thing around. He said, "Well, who was the one that mentioned Big Beaver and I-69?" And all of a sudden they went, yeah, boo.
Right.
It was amazing.
I'll never forget that. Every time I go, oh, come on. We all know Mark Ridley.
Hey, and if you drove down I-94, they had a Big Bone Lick. That was a street. What? Big Bone Lick State Park. Next
Big
exit.
Bone Lick?
Yeah, leave it to you, Lowell, to remember that.
Exit 70, Little Cock. How we living? You guys look great. Hey, Tim, congratulations. I heard you got renewed for a new Last Man Standing again.
Yeah, this is a remarkable time for anything. I feel like blessed is the right word, grateful. I love what I do. And having 9 seasons of a show in this market, it's phenomenal. I love that crew. It keeps me off the road a little bit. I get to work with Leno quite a bit, which is so much fun to have constant jokes. I go, but man, you used to do the Tonight Show, right? That's like constant jokes. Remember the Tonight Show? He goes, yeah, my career took a real dive. Look what happened. He's just a nut. But I'm grateful, like especially these days. I mean, I said I'm so sad. We did some charity work for Mark Ridley Comedy Castle there in Royal Oak, Michigan. 41 years in the business, and I don't know that he's going to survive. And he said the same thing. But he's a positive guy. He really believes there'll be a vaccination, and slowly we'll get back to doing what we do. But we can't do this. I saw Alicia Keys on one of these things, and she was marvelous. And when you strip musicians, I think Elton John said it a long time ago at a charity event. He didn't like music videos because you never get to see the performer. But you saw Alicia Keys on a piano. Man, that woman drilled it.
She's wonderful.
It was mesmerizing. You see us on this kind of stuff without an audience, we just look like we're struggling.
I know. How crazy is that? Bobby, would you perform on Zoom? No. Why not? Nobody can relate to it. We're comedians. We're comics. We're circus people. We're carny. We like to see faces. Right. We like to get a reaction.
You have to get an instant response.
Oh, God. And I'm over here in Santa Monica. These people had riots. I'm from New York. I felt very comfortable.
Well, tonight, my wife and I decided we're going to go out and loot. We're not going to. We don't have a lot of time, so we're just going to loot. We're not going looting. We're just going to loot.
Yeah, get a new earplug while you're looting.
Hey, why don't you go after yourself?
It's not about the looting.
I went into Walmart. They're only letting in 10 looters at a time.
And I can't stop myself. This stuff is not funny. I said, literally, all I keep thinking of is the dudes that slip and fall, and you come out of a Costco and you've got a whole bunch of diapers and Band-Aids. But man, you got free stuff.
Brings new meaning to the phrase, shit hits the fan.
Wow. It's just a peculiar thing. And when is it okay for us? Who's that guy? Craig Chandler or Craig?
Which guy?
He's got a cigar and he was walking around biatching about stuff. He reminds me of Bobby Slayton in a way. I don't remember the guy's name. I just saw YouTube. And this guy is, I mean, he's an angry guy. And it's just before it's funny. And what he's talking about is pretty damn funny, but he's taking a shot, man. He's got that Lenny Bruce Pryor thing where it's a little bit of anger mixed with observation.
Right.
When is it too soon for us to get back making jokes about this stuff?
I still get a kick over this pandemic. That was the thing everybody was talking about in this.
We've forgotten all about the pandemic.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's civil unrest. The next thing is an asteroid's going to crash.
They got the killer bees coming.
Is this?
Well, if you really wanted to, everybody's turned into me as a fortune teller. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. There's no moment. I'm a science guy. You want to worry about stuff, it is asteroids. You want to worry about stuff, it's this cauldron or caldera underneath Yellowstone. That thing blows, and it is going to blow maybe 400,000 years. I was a kid in science class in Denver, Colorado, sat right before Easter break. We went and Bell Labs had a movie about the sun. And it said in the sun, and I didn't even get the dates, 4.6 billion years will burn itself into a red giant, shrink to a black dwarf, and the sun will be gone. Everybody goes home for Easter eggs and all that stuff. I'm in tears in the science class. The guy goes, "Hey, Tim, you got to go home." "Why bother? Why bother? This is all over with. We're all dead." He goes, "Well, it's going to be in a while." "I don't care. The end of it is no good."
Oh my God. You're right. You're right. Look what's going on. My wife and I, we took a ride last night just to go through the Santa Monica just to check it out.
You did a drive-by?
Well, yeah, we went 2 nights ago, and they were really looting the stores that she goes into. And she's holding up her camera, and she's videotaping and screaming to them, "Hey, I'm videotaping you. I got your face." And I'm looking at it going, "Are you nuts? If one of them's got a gun, we're going to die. Shut up."
You can't tell me you didn't have a thought to go in that store, Bobby.
Oh, you bet. Go get
it was just sneakers. If it was Rolex, maybe I would have thought about it.
Go get me some green tea. I swear. Yeah. Get me the green tea with the honey in it.
Right. That's what I want.
You know, they're going to arrest a lot of them guys, people, after this is all done with those license plate numbers and videos that they have.
You think?
Yeah, they did that in the 60s.
They got
They went back and took back a lot of that stuff, the couches people were sitting on in their homes. Took the couch, the TVs, and took them straight to jail.
Oh,
that was in Detroit.
In all fairness, that day, I don't even know what the word was. I tweeted on it. I was brokenhearted and so sad in watching that dude get murdered. I couldn't even speak. I've never seen anything that was so horrible. I mean, it took the breath out of me, and I just sat there. It's one of those things you can't unsee. And I felt bad for, of course, his family and him, and then the tumult after that. But I have never had a feeling like that where I was so disappointed in mankind.
Humanity.
Everything about that was horrible.
Right.
I said, so I don't. The rest of this is getting in the way of. I know what. There's no, when a comic gets quiet, I didn't say, there's nothing. I had nothing. I just sat there and going, this is
unbelievable to watch something like that.
We're so used to holding up a mirror and showing an audience themselves through our words, through our actions, right? Now we're home. We're holding up a mirror and taking a look at ourselves. And the things we're seeing is like, I think it's great, but wow, you know?
So hopefully that's something good to come out of this.
It will. Look at us. That's why when they said, "Would you do a podcast?" I don't want to sit and interview comics. I want to laugh with them and talk about life and our shit. That's what we're used to. You know.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to work. This is
me too. Me too. I was a little nervous last night because I was looking at some stuff that I've done, old tape, just to see if I got it again. You know, you haven't done it. You're timing. You're this. I was like, oh shit.
I couldn't remember. And it took me all, and I still haven't got it. I visited some friends. we're getting all in my neighborhood. Everybody's been in the house for 12 weeks, so I think we're pretty confident. We come over, bring the kids over, and we're all sitting around having. I don't drink, but we're just sitting around eating. And I couldn't remember a bit that I did in front of Clint Eastwood. I said I made that dude laugh one night, and I was quiet the rest of the night because I couldn't remember this great bit. And
I know it'll come back to you. Everyone says.
Then I went back on my notes. I don't remember how I got to all this stuff. And I said, yeah, but Lowell and I have been on the road, 32 years. And I said, it happens every time I take a break. I wonder if I ever can do this again.
Does it pop right back in?
Yeah, eventually. But sometimes I did I'm an old philosophy major in college. And it seems like we had the death of a child, which was normal.
Yeah.
What was normal died. And there's anticipation over what's going to be born, and it's good and bad. There's a new kid coming. Then what's new normal is I said what my wife and I were talking about this morning. I get to go back to work, and I have a bunch of nephews and nieces that I don't know if they're going to go back to work, even though they still have a job, because the company's going. Do we need them coming to work? So how many more people are going to be doing this stuff on Zoom or Microsoft's Office or whatever the hell this stuff is?
Isn't that crazy? Yes.
Yeah. And so what's the new normal? And
I know.
When this first happened, Jamie Masada called me after 3 weeks of being locked down. I had been nowhere. And he's telling me how bad, we're talking about how bad it is. And he says, hey, Lowell, we need to do something. I said, yeah, that'd be great, man. When this, I'm thinking when this is over, we'll get back and let's do something. And he said, I want you to do something. We're doing a show at the Laugh Factory on YouTube. And I'm like, when is it? He's like, tomorrow. I'm like, tomorrow? I'm like, and no audience or nothing? He said, oh, it'd be great. So I said, without thinking, I said, okay. I hung up and I thought about it. And I said, wait, I ain't been out the house in 3 weeks. So I can't think of nothing funny. I don't even know my act. So I go to call him back and he doesn't answer the phone, right? I send him messages and no response. So in the morning, I tried to call him. He answers the phone. I said, hey, Jamie, I can't do this, man. I can't be funny. My head ain't there. Oh, buddy, come on. You got to do it for me. No audience. I said, no audience? That's even worse. And he says, come on, do me a favor. You can't let me out of this. I've sent it to the press. And he begged me to do it. And I went and I did it. There's only like 3 people in the club at a time.
Well, you're used to that.
Yeah, so I did it. And it was the weirdest thing I've ever done. And so they destroyed the video. It was going live and they still doing it. And it's the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life.
Well, I thought it'd be kind of a fun gag, and my oldest daughter works in production with me. Still, we do a bunch of stuff for YouTube and Fox here at my building, and I was going to have a stand-up show, green screen us one of the concerts we've done, Lowell, and then every time you cut the audience, it's people 8 feet apart with a mask on, and the mask has got a smile on it, like oh, or a frown. So you cut back, people going, oh, and it's just. Can you imagine doing a comedy concert where everybody's 6 feet apart?
Oh no! Oh. I can sell out those places now. Social distancing. I can sell out every one of those arenas.
Hey Tim, are you in the middle of shooting now, or no? You haven't gone back yet.
No, we left all midway to our final episode of season 8. Right in the middle of it, Fox said all this the crew and all the actors we were okay because just as things were starting to heat up, we were all good with each other. We tracked where we were all comfortable somewhat.
Wow.
And then Fox just said they couldn't take the lawsuits if they did it. And so our set's still set up there, which is a good thing because we'll come back. But right now, I think the state of California is going to have to decide from the governor down when it's okay for everybody to come back. In some, they'll have to take allowances for this. They come up with, typical, forgive my politics, but government can't get out of its own way, but they do the best they can. That's their job. But they'll come up with some stupid idea that you'll have to implement. Like the rumor, and it is rumor, that they would quarantine all of us. We'd have to stay in like a Motel 6. I'm used to that for 30 days. I don't think that's going to happen.
That'll be a lot of difficulty.
I don't think we'll do a live crowd, which is really sad because I live for that on Tuesday nights. I don't know how it's going to work. My showrunner is heading over here to my office in about 40 minutes, and he and I are going to sit down and talk about storylines. And it's kind of weird because our Fox schedule will have us start shooting in August, God willing, and then what we won't start until the shows won't air until January, which I would project, I don't want to forecast, would project that it will be much different in January. So do you do shows with masks on and make jokes about this? I don't know. We're really walking a fine tightrope.
Well, it's good to see you guys, man. I haven't seen too many people in this time.
I know.
I've been quarantined for 76 days.
Jesus, Jenny, isn't that weird? And like I said, I'm one of those guys that's got a nice home, so I zoom out of my garage so it doesn't look like, oh, look at me with the waterfall, and the pool, and the jacuzzi. I wanted to have a fake background of a big hangar with like private jets and butlers walking.
We'll fix that in post. You'll be like, that's not where I was.
Wait a second.
Why is that boat in the background?
Yeah. There's a boat, a Gulf Stream in the background.
Nice.
Move it over here, fellas.
Nice.
Yeah. Rip down that tool time.
I know. Isn't that crazy shit? Hey, was anybody else in your family funny growing up? Like, I didn't have anyone funny in my family.
My blood father, who was killed when I was a kid, was real funny, and my grandpa was real funny.
That's nice.
My grandpa was real dry funny. My real father was real funny. Normally, as my mom would say, sometimes too much the life of the party. That was old people's code word for.
Right.
I think he drank a little bit.
How about you, Lowell?
My aunts and uncles were funny, and the more alcohol they drank, the funnier they were, man. They would turn out a party, man. As soon as that alcohol get to kicking in, but naturally though, they're funny too. Yeah.
And then I was on a show recently at one of those podcasts, and somebody said to me, "Hey, Bobby, do you think comics are somewhat broken?" I go, and that's why they do comedy, to get it out. I said, I think we're all broken in some way. We've all have stuff inside. I was a poor, insecure, no confidence little kid. So in order for me to overcome that, I put on the funny, and girls started to like you. Other popular guys started to like you, and then I've used that. I go, so yeah, there's a lot of comics we all know who have died or committed suicide. I was like, not to bring this down, but I was like, I think all of us in some way in our lives, we have a little something in there that we can change and grow from.
Yeah, it's a distraction from our personalities.
It is. It is.
Yeah, that gets it gets a little bit too close to home, because I find myself generally in the lowest part of my personality. I'm funny to avoid people. It puts them off. Then I don't have to be whatever self-esteem issues I have. I don't deal with them because the funny guy takes over and is a distraction. People are laughing, so they're not really paying attention to me.
Right. It's just like
people love the funny.
People
love the funny.
But we, as comedians, we know, we see that and we can turn it on and turn it off, but we can also look in people's eyes and know when they're bullshitting us, when they're lying about what they're saying. If this guy, he's not racist, bullshit, I'm out of here. We cut our conversation short and go the other way.
Yeah, that's a peculiar thing. And it AIDS benefit many years ago. I sat down with Donald Trump and his wife and my wife, and literally for 4 hours at that Elton John AIDS Academy Award thing, I never got any indication. We just sat and listened. He wasn't particularly funny.
Right.
That he shows, but he didn't show any homophobic or racist tendencies. There was no side jokes, nothing. It's so weird to have that experience. So every time this comes up, no matter what my politics are, that was not my experience. He didn't seem like, right now, as Tom Dreesen and I both said, he looks like a new talent night comedian.
Right.
He just keeps landing bombs. There, none of that. He really,
you're right.
At dinner, he loves comics. He just ain't that funny.
That's right.
He just misses the joke. Instead of being funny, it's sarcastic and kind of snarky. And I said, but I said, you get that first impression with people, and I didn't come away with that. So when people say stuff, I don't defend him, but it just wasn't my experience.
Right. When he became president, me and Celine Dion performed at Mar-a-Lago. And I've known Donald Trump for 20 some odd years. And, coming from New York, he got 1% of the vote. It's like 11 people.
He'll get less this year.
I know.
Yeah, those 11 have turned.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still a comic. I got, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new president here amongst and everyone claps. I go, I guess orange is the new black. And then,
Nice.
and they're looking at me going, oh my God. So,
But I said that the truth of that, it's just funny because I've had the same experience with Howard Stern. In private, he's a wonderful guy. In public, he does his thing, and that's
right.
the thing. And he can be kind of cruel, or he was to me anyway. And then privately, he's going, I shouldn't have said all that stuff. I said, no, I get the gig. I said, I've had it with a couple of talk show people too that came across really kind of snarky to me, and I didn't get it. And then
You've had it with me. You've had it with me.
Yeah. Tim, you be nice to Lowell.
That's real funny, Lowell.
That's
really funny. It's really funny, Lowell.
Very fucking funny.
Hello. Yeah. It's good.
It's funny, Lowell. That's really good stuff.
I know. I was just fired, Bobby.
No, you weren't. Weren't you guys supposed to be in Las Vegas this month? June?
We're supposed to be in a lot of places.
We had some, man, one of those, you fills your head. We were sold out in, where was it, in Indianapolis or Austin. We had one of those great moments in the comedy career when they call up and they say, we sold out the first show and the second one's on this way. Can you do one of those gigs? We were doing 3 big concerts and there's nothing like it. I don't.
I will joke for food now. That's really.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be pretty hungry.
I got a little hostile last night. Not with the wife. I take the dog out for a walk because that's my job. That's one of my jobs now that I'm home. So I take the dog out for a walk, and there's a real old couple that are just mean pricks. They're just pricky. Ugh. And I look at my dog and I say to her, if you're going to take a shit right here on these people. And she usually doesn't. But the other night I was walking her and I see the lady in the window, the old prick lady. And because my dog's taking a piss, but when she finishes pissing, you know how they do that? They scrape the lawn. And she's banging on the windows. So last night I went out, later figuring they were dead asleep. I walked out, the dog smelt the lawn, took a shit on it, a long, good one. And I said, good dog. I came home, gave her a treat.
And that's our show, everybody. I got
I'm safe.
We're going to end on that shit joke.
Who else could I tell this to than other comics?
Right. I got a 6 o'clock curfew I got to hit.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. And I never thought this crap with Minneapolis. I performed in Minnesota. I mean, yeah, they're white. I never knew that they were that racist.
But you know what?
Why not?
It's one dude and the guys around him. Who knows what really happened? I can't even look at that stupid
video.
That stupid fucker sitting there. It makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh,
the whole thing, and it could be one guy that just such a dumb shit. I mean, it reminds me sometime of I can't remember which newscaster said it about Lee Harvey Oswald. horrible, 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 or he could be just some dumb fuck with a lucky shot. And everybody wants him to be more evil than he is. And this guy just could be some low life, ignorant guy. I didn't want to get into it. I watched it with the hand in the pocket and shit. I had to turn it off. It was,
I know.
depressing.
I played Minneapolis in '97, and Prince was the only black person there.
Is that right?
Prince and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It was in '97.
God. I was talking to some guys I grew up with, and we were all multiracial. We never gave a shit unless somebody picked on one person, then we all took up. So when all this crap happening, I got a couple of calls from the guys going, "Can you believe this shit?" We didn't like cops growing up.
No.
We didn't like cops.
We called them pigs. We called them pigs.
They used to come over and whack us. They do this. And if you told your parents, the cop whacked me, then you probably deserved it. I was like, oh. So to see this going around the country, I just thought very,
Well, it's back to that. As I said, I told when I was a kid, because my neighborhood was all European or light skinned, or if people of color, I guess I'm people of no color. Because the cops always were after young guys with loud exhaust. That was our marker. And no matter where we got pulled over, you felt like you were going to get in trouble. And it was horrible. And I can't even imagine that times 1,000 what it's like. Lowell and I've been through this a million times. All you got to do is listen to another dude of color and you go, I just didn't know that. Right. If you open it up to listen and just shut up and don't try to fix anything, you learn a lot. And I said, at least I found out that the cops were after us when we were kids. Get out of that car. Don't move. Right. And I was constantly messing with that idea because I had some idea in my head. If I didn't get near the car, they couldn't look in the car. I probably watched Mannix or something and said, if you stand away from the car, he can't make you get in the car. That's not correct.
Right.
And then I end up doing time. This is not, and there is a segment of society I relate to, which is people that have done time, that you're kind of low on the totem pole.
Right.
You get shipped and you can't do a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of grievances against that. When I was, even my family said, didn't you pay your debt? Shouldn't it be cleared after all that's done? So when I get into this criminal justice reform stuff, it's kind of messed up, period.
Yeah.
It's messed up, period. I said, certainly leaning messed up toward people of different color.
Right. It's just, I remember when I first moved out here to do a sitcom with Aaron Spelling from New York. And I was like, wow, getting $100,000 to just do a sitcom for 1 week's work. This is amazing. This is how it works. I was making $15 to Catch a Rising Star. So I come out here and I come out with my then girlfriend, now wife. And I remember saying to her, we stayed in here in Santa Monica place. And I never forget saying to her, and she always reminds me, I'd come over there, I go, honey, any black people that drive in this neighborhood, the cops pull them over. I go, oh my God, this thing's got to explode. And then the next thing, that Rodney thing happened. Crazy.
And here we are, the same thing.
I know. That's what's so freaking
30
embarrassing.
years later.
Right.
I've seen this happen, and I don't get mad, and I just I work at a shop out here in Burbank. We build hot rods, and I'm around people, all walks of life, that do stuff, that figure out the problem and then go fix it. And you get that personality part of me. What can I do about this? And I don't have any animosity to protesters. I just want to go, I got it. Now what? What can I do? And it's the same thing I've told my staff. We've been really involved in my company about homeless downtown. You dive in and you want to do something. There's minimal amount that you can do. I mean, we can help with our time, which we have. We help with promotion, which we have. We've helped with money, of course. But even down there, a lot of this is so complex that I chip away at it. And some dude said today, and it sounded so religious, but I loved it. He said, you open heart and love's going to figure this out. If you allow love into this component, and for a guy like me, I get squeezy on that love stuff.
Right,
I'm
right.
not sure, but I saw two situations where it completely diffused all of it. You showed some respect to one side, the other side said, wait a minute, they just showed some respect and they meant that.
Right.
And all of a sudden, everybody loosened up. And I said, and that spread a little bit. You start going, show a little bit of love, and it sounds like a Disney cartoon. But I said, when I watched it, it was amazing how it seemed to spread in that little group of people where everybody, okay, all right, I got it.
Right.
You got it. You got it. And it was respect from both sides. And it started with people, sounds like a religious thing. Forgiveness got in there somewhere.
Right. Right. And that we love to see. I mean, that's everything that, for what we do in our lives, even Lowell, I know how you get.
Even me.
Oh, God. Where did we all meet? Different places. I don't know. Tim, I met Tim over as we were all coming.
I met Tim in jail.
Real funny, Lowell.
Yeah. Remember me?
That's right. We were homies.
The homie.
Yeah, that's right.
I met Tim on open mic nights, and I met you, Bobby, on that show VH1 when you were the host.
VH1 Stand-Up Spotlight. You know who gave me that? Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, no, I did it with her too.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, I don't know, Bobby. It wasn't back. Was it back in what was that place? Rascals. What was that place in New Jersey that was
Rascals? There? Wow, that's it.
I was thinking back of that whole group in New York, New Jersey clubs. I wasn't real welcome at Catch. I did Rodney's a bunch in New York, and I hung out at Rodney's, and only because he literally couldn't figure me out. Hey, what are we talking about? We're talking about lawnmowers. Everybody on stage at Rodney was talking about, yeah, I go down to Jersey and I get a piece of pie and I stick the guy in a knife. And I'm going, oh, we got lawnmowers. And Rodney goes, I don't know what a lawnmower is.
Needle nail pliers and Chiquita drills hanging low.
He had no clue. My favorite memory always is Dangerfield's when it was such a big deal to work there as a regular and that you could eat. They feed you.
Right.
And the waiters would go, what do you want, Tim? Anything you want to go, good, I'll take a filet, twice baked potato, and some green beans. He goes, perfect. Tuna salad sandwich.
Right.
No matter what you ordered, he'd listen to you, right?
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Tuna salad sandwich.
God. And we ran around and did those clubs in New Jersey, and I don't even remember the names of them. But Rascals was a great club. But then there was those little places we'd all jump in a car and go together. All right, who's opening? Who's Bobby? You close. You do that. That's crazy. Look what our lives.
Yep.
Hey, if you weren't a comic, what would you do? What would you think you'd be doing?
I literally, I was telling my staff here, I build cars. I always wanted to be a truck driver. That's because when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do is drive a semi-trailer truck. I've driven big buses and tanks and all sorts of things. And I have not yet driven a semi-truck, which I'm going to do this year because I think I'm going to buy an old used one, redo it, and drive it up and down my street out here in North Hollywood. I got one.
You can't even get it up the road.
Well, I got a big bus and I drive that a little bit. And I bought an old Studebaker semi truck from the 30s that Leno had to come over. Here's how you got to drive it. It's got to. Jay had to help me drive it because I've never driven a truck from the late 30s, I think. But it's a first sleeper cab. But it has. You got to be a man to drive it because it's so hard to steer. And Leno, it's a double clutch up and down. You got to shift everything.
Yeah. You know, I have a special needs daughter. So every time I would call up Jay or Bobby, yeah, no problem. I'll be there. What day? Hermosa Comedy and Magic Club. Okay, no problem. And he's just a crazy, but that's the way.
Lowell, what would you have done if you hadn't been a comedian?
Yeah.
I'd probably be a cook. I love cooking, a restaurant.
I know you do.
Running a restaurant. Yeah, I have my own restaurant.
Wow.
I don't know, sandwich shop, something.
Where?
There's still time, Lowell.
Yeah, I'm reinventing myself, Tim. What would you be doing, Bobby?
I remember when I was really young, a guy sat me down and he said, hey, Bobby, what do you want to do in life? And I said, oh, I don't know. And he said, if you could clear your head and write down 3 things that you would want to do, even if they were dreams, what would they be? I go, right away, I went airline pilot. I got airline pilot, a men's shirt designer, and the most, which I wanted to do, but I didn't even know how to spell the word comedian.
Wow. Well, to be honest with you, once I saw Lenny Bruce in a videotape, and then I went and saw Pryor and I've never had been affected by an individual like that. I've never laughed that hard. I've never gotten where it's like crying. That much laughter is almost like crying. Released so much. I like that guy so much, and it just changed my life. And I said, boy, if I could do that, that changed everything for me when I saw that. Otherwise, I don't know. I probably would have worked advertising just because I have a skill set in graphics and design work. But I said, once I saw Pryor, that put in the back of my head. And after I got out of trouble, I said, I'm going to make a stand there, at least take a shot.
Quick question, though. I do, only before I go on a stage. Do you have any superstition? Like before I go on a stage, I literally talk to God. I said, hey, God, let's have some fun. Anything that new pops in, let it all flow through me. Let me have some, you guys ever do that or something?
I pray that the check clears.
Because I'm very low standard guy.
No, you're not.
I view this as a gift.
That's a running joke, Billy.
What Pryor did for me is a gift. And when I was able to do that to an audience, I do also have a prayer. I've said the prayer every time I go up. It's a grateful prayer, hopeful that I can be a gift, because I'm a vent for this. I don't know where it comes from. I'm grateful to God that I can make people laugh because I love doing it. I love giving that gift away. I don't say this to any agent. I would probably do this for free now because it isn't about the money. I love the look on their faces, and I love when they're laughing at this, and I'll give them the B and C plus material. And if they laugh at that, wait till you see what's coming. I love that. I love that.
That's a great feeling. Yes.
If they think this shit's funny, wait till you see what's coming next.
Isn't that nice, man?
Yes. Nothing
what a
like
feeling. You walk off the stage and you say to yourself, hey, thanks God. That was wonderful. They're standing up and they're applauding.
That's even my joke. God doesn't ever say the word shit or damn or fuck. He uses me to say it.
Right. Very good. That's good.
Yeah. He goes, I don't talk like that, but you go ahead. Be my vent.
You want to say the things I can't say.
Yeah, you say the things I can't.
Hey, Lowell, what are some of your best dishes you make?
Everything. I love everything I make. But recently I made some great
wings.
Oh,
I haven't done that on the show yet, Tim. I'm going to get that. I'm going to name them Tim's Wings.
They're really good. They're the best. When he's on his game, if you like wings, they literally are the best I've ever tasted.
Wow.
Yeah, Bobby, we'll go over and I'll fix them and we'll watch football all day.
Yeah. If it ever came back.
Yeah. Well, it will. It'll be back.
Oh God.
It'll be back. Everything will be back.
I hope so. I do. I mean, God's given us wonderful careers, and I thank him for it all the time. But
we're blessed.
Somebody said we are blessed. Somebody said to me recently, Bob, you don't have to go to work anymore. I go like this. Are you kidding me? I need to stand on a stage. You know how we are. I need to sit.
It's not work when you enjoy it. It's not work to us. It's a gift.
Right.
It's a gift.
Go ahead. Ask it. Oh, what are you going to ask?
I wasn't going to ask anything, Bobby. I was going to ask what time is this show over? Because I got a curfew.
Oh, and we can.
And I went to the store yesterday, Bobby, and they closed. It was 4:00.
Oh my God!
I'm like, what the hell? They said
that didn't stop you, did it?
Curfew today. I'm like 6:00. I'm like,
yeah, but you had that hammer in your hand.
Why did you have
what the fuck?
why'd you take a crowbar and a blowtorch to the bank?
Hey, well, I opened them up.
I know you did. I know you did.
I had an ATM machine the other day.
And what'd you do with it?
Wouldn't
You
open,
opened
so
it
I
up?
threw it in the back of the truck. I threw it in the back of my truck, and I'm trying to open it in my garage now.
I'll be over. I got an acetylene torch here.
Hey, where do you think comedy's going with these young kids? The only reason why I'm asking is I stopped in at the Comedy Cellar in New York. They go, Bobby, would you want to go up? Sure. I got up. I think the average age was 7. And they all had telephones in their hands, and I said, oh, good. This is a challenge, get them. Where do you think this whole comedy thing's going?
I'm gonna go with it. I don't know if Pryor or Carlin started it. It's going to get observational. I just don't know whether they're going to be. I don't know where we are politically, because I believe my comedy has always been more anarchist.
Right.
I don't like being told what to do, so you just try to push the line as much you can.
Right.
Not as much as Otto and George, which I pay homage to that couple, if you will. Nobody pushed the line like that guy, where even comics are silent.
Do you remember?
You're laughing. You're going, holy! You're looking around, because that was past inappropriate. I don't even know where that stuff is. Some of that stuff that they said, you go, oh shoot! I saw him. We did a show together. And he was talking to the dummy by himself. I saw him backstage.
Wow.
They're arguing. You just walk by. You're going,
wow.
I saw him out here when he was. I bought one of my best jokes from him, and he was pleased to sell it. I exaggerate to clarify, and I bought that line from him. I haven't bought a line almost all my career. And he did a show, and I can't remember who was in the audience, but all of us. We did the thing about the quick impression of Kennedy.
Yeah.
The top of his head came off. The puppet would go like this. His head would come off. The crowd is silent, but they took your breath away. And every comic's going, whoa. Whoa. And then Otto or George, he goes, you guys all think I'm a genius? I'm still struggling with $30 at bachelor parties. And that the truth was sadder than the reality, is that he was pushed every button, didn't look like the guy that was doing that.
Yeah.
Literally looked like the puppet was manning the show. And he did some great boundary stuff for me, because it said he pushed every boundary. And that's what I love about comedy. I don't see that right now.
Right. I don't either. I stopped in a club called Bananas in New Jersey. And I said to the girl who ran it, I said, who are these guys that you have coming in? And the only name I saw was the guy from Philadelphia. I forgot his name. Dom Irera.
Right.
And I said, who are these other guys? He goes, Bobby, this one had a Netflix special. This one had, I go, how'd you do? She looked at me. She goes, we had 39 people on a Saturday night. I go, really? She goes, yeah, they get one quick hit and then we get them back. Nobody comes back to see them. Interesting.
Well, I don't know where, because I remember we were all trying to get on the Tonight Show in my era.
Right.
But you inevitably.
Our era,
you inevitably became road comics, where I'd come to LA and I had 50 minutes, and it was literally impossible to get Macaulay to come to my show. And he'd say, you can't talk about this stuff at the Tonight Show. No, Jim, the first 8 was for you, but you always show up late. He showed up late like every time. He never saw it. So right. I don't know about road comics anymore compared to the guys that are just doing it to get a Netflix special. Our day was to get a network TV show, which I ended up getting. You based everything just, get me off the road for a little bit. It was,
I know.
It was glorious.
God. But great success, though, Tim. Unbelievable. That was great. That was wonderful. I love that. When someone I know is moving up, you always go, yeah, great guy. This one does that. Crazy Drew Carey. I love Drew. This one, we all laugh.
I wonder about the guys like Sebastian, who's right in the middle of one of the funnier guys out there. And that's what I really like him a lot personally, but what does he do now? Because he's right on that touring where that's what you do right now is to get out, and it's going to be calmed down at least till February, where I don't know that you're going to be comfortable in concerts. Music, one thing, but people laughing out loud at
totally different. Totally different. All right, hey guys. First of all, I want to thank you, one, for being who you are, two, for appreciating your comedy and your friendship and knowing each other. And when I picked up the phone and called Lowell and Tim, you guys said, let's do it. I really appreciate that. And I want to
pleasure, Bobby.
Where can people get in touch with you on social media, your cooking show? How do people?
You can find me on Instagram at Didney, Ditne, on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook with my name, and YouTube, Sweet Soulful Cooking with Lowell Sanders. So watch my cooking shows.
And Tim, where can your fans and all people that love you, whether you're working on cars or riding in the truck or on the bus, how can people get in touch with you, buddy?
My company we still use old school. TimAllen.com has a little faceplate. You can pick FaceTime. I'm on Twitter. I got a little, just go to the website, TimAllen.com. That'll lead you. Last Man Standing, we'll start shooting across here in August. And that's it. I'm delighted. But back on the road is really what I want to be. Back at the Mirage in Vegas. Lowell and I will be on the road as soon as we can. But it's good to see you, Bobby. And Lowell, you and I will chat.
And you can follow me online at bobbycollins.com. and at the Bobby Collins on Instagram. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Bobby's Viral Friends on Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.